thanks for coming out tonight to this series that we've been doing sporadically for the last couple of years, which is making multi-channel music. This is an offshoot of the CLEAT program here at Elastic Arts, which is the Chicago Laboratory for Electroacoustic Theater, which has been housed in Elastic for the last 5 years. If you are not familiar with CLEAT, I invite you now to look up to the 16 hemispherical speakers that are alighting the roof of, or the ceiling of Elastic. This is the CLEAT system. This is where we invite artists to kind of contemplate the intersection of sound and space. And we invite people to make spatialized audio work, performance, film, a really kind of multimedia approaches to this system. And people have a range of ways of going about it. And then this is an opportunity to kind of peer behind the curtain a little bit to see how artists kind of approach this system. And this is sort of the culmination of, there are 3 CLEAT curators. I'm one of them. Stefan Moore is one. And Stefan and I have both done talks for these. And there was a 3rd CLEAT curator. So now we have finished the pyramid of CLEAT talks. And there's going to be a lecture portion. It's going to be about 45 minutes. And then there will be time at the end to kind of get up here and kind of play around with the system. Kind of based on what you hear, there'll be kind of a workshop, open office hours for about an hour. So Sam, I have known since 2017, and we kind of started this program even before it was CLEAT. I think we kind of, Stefan and I wrote you into kind of a project at the John Cage whole situation at the Cultural Center, and then so we've been curating ever since. And I'm going to leave it there, but one hand against another makes a very nice sound for Sam Clapp.
That was so much more beautiful than I would have expected for Tuesday. Thank you. Hey everyone. We're supposed to use the microphones. Is this working?
Is it working? I don't know. Kind of, a little bit. Am I talking?
Hello, hello, check, check, check. Check, check. They're recording it, so we have to have a clear signal. Hello, 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 check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. I'll just start and we can try to get it.
Yeah, just go for it.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Sam Clapp, one of the 3 CLEAT curators. There's a small enough number of people here that maybe we could just do quick introductions, because I'm curious like where everybody's coming from, if you're a musician or a filmmaker, or so just in a word, your name and what brings you here, what your medium is. I'm Sam. I'm a filmmaker and musician, and I curate the CLEAT series here at Elastic. I'm gonna start, Scott.
I'm Scott, musician and technologist. I've also done a fair bit on CLEAT.
I'm Jazz. I am not officially a musician. I'm an audiovisual artist. I'm interested in immersive audio, specifically sound and space.
Cool.
My name is Yoav. I'm an artist and I teach. I'm Yash, and I run a recording studio in Lakeview called 50 Box Studios.
I'm Jim. I'm a music and production dilettante. I mess around in Ableton, so I'm just kind of curious how this works.
Cool.
I'm Rue. I'm a musician, yes, and in the electroacoustic field, whatever. And professionally, actually, I was setting up many home theaters in Europe. Yes.
Okay.
That's a cool.
I'm Ben. I've attended maybe 4 performances on the CLEAT system. Really enjoyed them, but not really a performing musician, but I messed around a little bit at home.
Cool. it sounds like we have a pretty wide range of interests. So I think I'm going to try to kind of start from the ground up for anybody who may not know as much about audio, and then hopefully it'll be interesting to everyone because I'm kind of doing two talks in one. One is about my relationship with the CLEAT system and how it's kind of provided a catalyst to create a series of short films that I don't think I ever would have created otherwise. And then the second part of what I want to talk about is just how it works, how you can get involved with it, because it is a community resource that is available to everyone. Many of the people we've curated over the years have been people who came to an event like this, and we're always eager to help people access this sort of unusual way of thinking about audio that doesn't exist in a lot of places. Check. Okay. So yeah, I want to talk about my own experience with it as an artist, and then give you a primer so you can get going. Film sound is sort of relevant to my work here because I have been creating video art for the CLEAT system. Typically, the classic format for film sound was 3 speakers, 1 behind the screen and 2 on the sides in the early 20th century. And in the later 20th century, they added speakers behind the audience to create a 5.1 system, where 5 is the speakers around and 1 is the subwoofer. And because it's around you, you can create a sense of space. Something's happening in front, something's happening behind. And here's a diagram of that. That's you. You're having a great time. And left, center, right, the rear, surround left and surround right. And the sub is over there in the corner. So this is actually a 5.2 system because there's 2 subs. So if you're making a movie, you're trying to create realism, typically there's sort of conventions. The dialogue would go behind the screen in the center channel. And then maybe ambiance is behind you. Music might be more flexible, but there's certain, the dialogue being behind the screen is kind of the main assumption. So when I'm doing work for CLEAT, all of that completely goes out the window because this isn't a spatialized system in the sense that it's around us, it's above us, and so there's this sonic plane that we could spatialize things onto, and it just totally reinvents your assumptions about what you want to create. It is possible to wire in the left and right speakers and the sub as well, so technically CLEAT can be an 18.1 system, just not in the standard arrangement. So, what is CLEAT? CLEAT is 16 speakers. They are hemispherical. Each speaker is addressable as 1 channel. So even though there's however many speaker cones on each speaker, you can't say I want to have sound come out of one of them. The whole thing is 1 speaker unit. And they're numbered like so. This is this diagram of elastic that I sort of love because it's who's ever made a map of elastic? But this wall is the top, production wall. That's the storage area. So it's 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12, and then the back row behind you is 13, 14, 15, 16. So the way we address the speakers, whoops. Okay, I'm actually gonna play, I forgot my structure here. I'm gonna play a piece of one of the videos that I made, just so you can hear something. So just give me 1 sec here. This is called Bliss Point 1. I am mostly a musician, and about 2 years ago, I've been curating CLEAT Series for a while and wanted to kind of branch out to see what I could do with it. And I'd always wanted to make a piece of video art as a way of sort of moving into an area where I was less familiar with the tradition, to kind of be ignorant in a good way, and tear my artistic process down at the studs and kind of just make something totally new without having the weight of history on me. Which for me as a musician has always been a major buzzkill, that there's always some 12-year-old who knows every mode and can like play circles around you. So I wanted to create something which is purely my own creation. So the way I introduced this at the time is that I was stripping it to the fundamental elements of cinema, which you could maybe say that's a few different things, but light, sound, and language. So it's like six or 7 minutes long. I'm gonna play a quick 3.5-minute excerpt. So I'm going to pull, right now we're looking at the video window of Ableton Live that you would extend the same way you extend a screen, like if you have 2 monitors at home. So now I'm going to put the actual mixing window on screen so we can all take a look at what I just did. And I should say that I don't use CLEAT in the most sophisticated way. There's all sorts of gearheads who love to do amazing surround panning, and I have the utmost respect for them, but it doesn't suit my artistic vision in the sense that I'm usually working at the very last minute, just trying to get something done. So we're going to look at sort of a more primitive way of working. Sorry, 1 sec. There we go. Any Ableton users in the house? Logic, cool. Yeah, you can totally use Logic for this too. Sorry. The video window is messing with me. 1 sec. Or something? It might just be actually, it's not just fine. Sorry, 1 second here. This is kind of messing with my presentation. Sorry, 1 second. One moment. Okay. So, the video track is this right here, the sort of brown one. In Ableton, it's like also just on an audio track. And the audio you can see arrayed above in a variety of different tracks, which are straight up labeled with numbers for their channel assignments. So, I don't know if you can see here as well, but typically when you open an Ableton session or any DAW, Logic, Pro Tools, Reaper, whatever, your channels all sent to the master bus or output 1, 2. Here we're going to an external out, and we're defining that as 1, 2, 3, up to 16. And so if I solo like this, channel 1, you just hear that speaker. So this is an effective way that I find to sound design for a video because it allows you to really get in there and like say like I want the speaker to play this thing at X time. Whereas if you're doing music, it might make sense to like have a more free-flowing surround panner situation or something, which I can show you in just a bit. Any questions about that? So it's pretty simple. It's just I have a track for every speaker, and sometimes duplicates because I want to play different things at different times, or maybe have effects, and I just created a sound design based on that. So just as a quick review, I want to go over the signal flow, maybe for those who are a little less familiar with audio interfaces. So there's no mixing console in the way that we would like conventionally think of one in a live sound venue or a recording studio. It's all based around the DAW, which is the digital audio workstation. And so sources within that would be like a live audio input, like a microphone like this one, an audio file, which is what I'm using, or a synthesizer. And so the key moment in the software that happens is assigning sound to a given output, which I'm doing with a track. So the track goes to track output 2, that goes to, sorry. So this is a digital connection that I'm establishing in the DAW. There's then a physical connection. It's a 1/4-inch cable that goes from the Motu, which is the audio interface, to the first amp channel, which then goes on a long speaker wire with amp level signal to one of the speakers. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
No worries.
The assigning a track, assigning an audio to a track, is that the same as bus assessing it?
You can use a bus, which I'll show you in a little bit. I'm not using buses. I'm just straight up saying, this track, it's called 1, and it goes to external output 1, which means that it goes out of the audio interface output 1 to the Mo2, or that's the Mo2, sorry. This is the audio interface. So software, physical hardware output to the amp, to the speaker. So this is the part we're controlling in software. You can do a bus in a way I'll show you in a little bit, but basically you would say like bus 1 has an output of on the interface of 1, and then you can send various tracks to it, which would totally work. It involves using automation in this way that like I find slows me down when I'm doing this sort of project. Okay, I'm gonna play. That was my first attempt. Super simple. Sort of like got a taste for it, and then elaborated a little bit with this next one. So I'm gonna play a chunk of Bliss Point 2, where I basically gussied it up with an expanding vocabulary of things you'd find in a movie. So sound design, story, richer language. Just one moment here. This is also a shorter edit of a longer piece. Meredith, can you turn down the lights a little bit? Thank you. Shout out Meredith for being here. session reveal. Just close the video window here. Did anybody notice any sonic differences between the first one and the second one?
There's a moment towards the beginning when you flash like a whole matrix of words on the screen, so like the sounds of, so like more rapid fire.
Yeah.
sounds.
Totally. Yeah, like you basically worked way harder on it, so it's like
Yeah,
impossible
yeah.
to like do more granular choices like that.
A lot more cutting.
Yeah, yeah, and so to take it back to the technical domain, there's two ways to do that. One is by like just very arduously cutting up sound and placing it in the tracks. Because track 1 goes to there, track 2 goes to here, so if you want to scroll across it, you're just stair-stepping audio pieces. You could also use automation, which I can show you in a second, to send to there, and then to there, and then to there, and then to there. But either way, it's a lot of work, and there's kind of no way around it, which is just true of making a movie in general. It's all about the tiny details. The other thing is that I used a sub, so that I'm putting the 0.1 and the 18.1. And the way I did that, this is, I'm sorry, a little bit hard to see. I wonder if I can increase the display size. Yeah, a little bit. So, sorry, I lost track of it. It is the top row, this orange one. Sorry, I want to know what I'm talking about here. Which I handled in it's this one here. It's the same setup as all the other tracks. There's no bus. So I'm also handling this in the crudest, like kind of like, I'm gonna throw low frequency material at the subway, but it sounds pretty good. So I just sent stuff that would benefit from a low rumble to that track. In the next session, I'll show you it's handled in a slightly more sophisticated way. So yeah, I mean, if I want something to play out of 2 speakers at the same time, you have to actually literally copy it to adjacent tracks. So it kind of becomes this cut and paste collage experience, which I think some people really like that. I've always liked the kind of tactility and it's not tactile, it's just involved, and you can visually see. I think it has an affinity with like composition a little bit, where you're kind of like laying it out on the page, and there's a left to right quality that I really react to. So this works for me. It wouldn't necessarily work for everyone, but so you can make a sound piece this way. You could spatialize a piece of music this way. You could have, let's say, this is the verse. We want the verse in as many speakers as we can put it in, and then the chorus we want to sound small, or the opposite, and then it would just be in 1 speaker. So it's a good way to visualize, and it feels like kind of like arranging music. Just more dragging clips around than using effects.
So here you have a sound going through speakers 4 and is that 11?
I think so. They're also totally out of order.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these 2. So are you thinking like, okay, that's going to show up in the middle?
Not really.
So how are you doing your selections?
Also with this project, I'm completely embracing artificiality.
All right.
And like hard cuts and things sounding kind of broken, and like revealing the mechanism by which the thing is created. So a lot of the camera work is really glitchy because it's sped up, or there's these weird cuts at different times because I'm just creating an energy. And so the same way I did with the sound. It's not about ambiance really. It's just about creating an experience. I think in general, things that I want to be more enveloping are like kind of in the front, and things that are more ambiance are in the back. Yeah.
You use stereo files, but it's just a mono signal actually.
Yeah, so it's just summing to mono. And the reason for that is simply because the music I was using is music that my band Q Shop created, and so I just had stereo stems. There's no good reason for it. The Bliss Point 3, I did use stereo pairs of speakers. So there's like
I'm sorry.
I use stereo pairs, like chaining together 1 and 2 as a single unit. so there's a little bit more stereo content there.
Ah,
My experience is that for something like this, where it's moving so quickly, you'd have to really be listening hard to perceive whether or not it's stereo. But yeah, for a more immersive thing where you're like, you need to have like kind of a sense of stereo spread, that would be very
I'm sorry, because my English is not so good. So in the next piece, you use the stereos over 2 speakers?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have an original stereo file, you use it over 2 adjacent speakers.
Yes.
Kind of, okay.
Yeah. So you could conceive of the
Yes.
the CLEAT as like a chessboard
Yeah.
of like, if you did 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 2 stereo experiences. And there's ways to wire it up where like, it could be left, right, so you're having a stereo experience, and that can be right, left.
Okay.
And so any way you're positioned within the space, you're having like kind of like, sort of like a headphone experience. Did you have a question?
And just about the sub, does it have to be separate from everything? Like its own track?
I realize I'm supposed to be repeating the questions for the live stream. The question is, do I need to make the sub separate? It needs to, so the way that the sub is hooked up is that the audio interface has 16 outputs. There's an additional box that adds 8 more. So the sub is wired to the 17th. So the way that I've done it, I have a track going to 17. I can also show you momentarily a way to use an aux send to do this, which would allow you to send every track to the sub to an extent. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open up the third one.
So like you could send everything to the sub and just have a low pass filter. So like so it only gets everything under 100 hertz.
Yeah, exactly.
And you said 1 of 8? There could be 8 subs?
There could be 8 additional speakers. So 3 are in use. It's this one, that one, and the sub, which I did use in the third piece for dialogue. So you'll get a sense of what that could sound like. In a musical setting, the left and right mains can be useful for like whatever you want to emphasize in a mix. Or maybe you want to add the punchiness of like a loud PA, but then also have this kind of unusual surround sound vibe with the 16 overheads.
So you could also do 16 like aux tracks and then send a little bit of signal to any one of those to create more ambiance, right? That's because
Yes.
that's the only way to create more depth, like in stock Ableton, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's also a multi-channel panner in whatever the most expensive Ableton is that you can use. That I can show you a version of in Max. I think there's enough questions about aux sends that I'm going to show you this session. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see. But this is audio, similar to what we've been looking at. It's routed. I couldn't figure out how to turn the routing off entirely, so it's going to like output whatever, 30 or 20 or something that doesn't exist. So there's nothing there. It's not going anywhere the way that in the previous settings, speaker 1 was external 1. We're routed to different speaker positions via these aux tracks at the bottom. So this one's going to 1. This one's going to 4, which is the one in front of Scott. Basically the 4 corners of the room. This is 13, which is the one by the bar, and then 16, which is the one by the door. So this isn't, I'm going to start looping it. It's not sending to anything right now. But if I turn this up, I'm sending to aux 1. And then it appears over there. 4, 13, 16. So one could also have a much more pared down set of audio tracks, like 4 or 6 6 with every sound element, and you could draw in automation to send it to different tracks at different times. And I'm sorry, this is going to be kind of challenging while I'm looking backwards at this huge screen. Where is it? So this is automation. Now we're looking at the level to which it's routed to channel 1. If it's 0 right now, I'm going to make a send. I'm going to make an unsend by drawing that in. So let's hear it appear in this channel over here. So you get the picture.
So if you wanted to, so this would not be a good approach if you wanted the sound to go in a circle.
It would be a very bad approach if you wanted to sound in a circle, because you'd have to work really, really hard.
Yeah.
You'd be drawing a bunch of little short pyramids on each one.
16 pyramids.
Yes. So because the question was asked, let's look at a different way of addressing the system. On our website, CLEAT.info, we have a bunch of resources, which I will just go ahead and show you. Here's a website. It's like, looks like it was made in 1993 in a good way. Complimentary. On the resources page, you can find tools to get you started. So this is a manual. These are drivers you need to download to use the audio interface. Here are some Max patches that allow you to create software tools to use the system. There's a tool for Reaper to have like surround sound panning. Reaper's cool because it's free-ish.
You should pay for Reaper. You really should.
Yeah, they're like doing a good thing. So
It's $60.
Yeah.
Pay for Reaper.
let's all agree we're gonna pay for Reaper today, maybe. Ableton template for CLEAT. This is if you're an Ableton user, there's like a set of aux sends that can get you started. And this is in Max. There's also one in Super Collider that we're adding. So the sample Max patches are among the most useful. You download those. I'm going to open up Maxlist. Do we have any Max users in the house? I'm not really a Max user. That kind of scares me still. But
It scares me too.
We're all just aspiring.
yeah. But this is relatively easy to use. Max, for anybody who doesn't know, is just a very flexible piece of coding software that allows you to create custom software that can do kind of whatever you want if you have enough knowledge to use it. So these are objects. You can think of them like informational guitar pedals that process information and incoming audio to make things happen. So just to walk you through this really fast, this is an on switch for the whole shebang. This opens an audio file with this object sfplay. This is level. And this is a little program that our friend Stefan wrote to make the signal wander around the room. So you also need to turn the audio on. So you can manually control it. This represents the room. Where the center is kind of the field. And if you go outside, you can go past the furthest speaker. So you can pan across and get kind of a beautifully dramatic effect. Stefan created this thing where it wanders around. There's a different version of this where it goes in a circle. And so if you were just wanting to play back a musical composition or sing into a microphone and have it go around, this would be a great way to do that. You just need to add a audio input for a microphone, or you need to select your audio file. Or you could add a bunch of these, and each of your different sources would have like a different wandering pattern, and they can be pretty spectacular. Yeah.
Would the audio file have to be configured so that it has the different tracks that it's sending to, or can it just be like a WAV and then that?
It would just be any kind of audio file. I think it can handle uncompressed audio like AIF or WAV or like an MP3. And it's when you open, it goes to like your Finder and you just select the file. So I could play back something else. Like if I wanted to play like just the harmonium, that's what this is now. This thing's like quivering in a weird way.
The entire room is moving.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
pretty strange.
The blue light?
It's probably
Yeah.
I've never seen that
I've never
before.
seen that before either. Weird.
Because the blue line goes by a lot.
Yeah. Okay. It's just
Is the sub doing anything else?
no.
Huh.
It's very odd.
It was quivering before too.
Okay.
Could be like laundry.
Yeah. Let's say it's laundry. We'll keep an eye on it. So Max is a very technically involved way to address the system. If you want to get involved with it, that's incredible. It's really fun and cool, but you need a lot of technical knowledge to make it happen. Those presets you can download from our website give you the ability to do panning in this format within Reaper, which is the cheapest $60 version. And Ableton, if you're an Ableton user, you need the highest version of Ableton. Logic also has a surround panner, but you have to configure it in a slightly more involved way. So all those things are possibilities. Any more questions for the moment?
So, kind of maybe off topic, but if you had like, I'm just trying to see like if you had like an instrument with like 16 tracks, could you like play it like one track per speaker if you set it up as like a MIDI receiver, and
Is it a MIDI instrument or audio instrument?
like an audio instrument, then you use the computer as like a MIDI receiver?
The computer, yes. It wouldn't really be doing MIDI, it would be routing audio. I can just show you, if you want to do that, I can show you two ways to do it really fast. So in Max, which would be, this is actually a pretty good use case for Max because it just involves routing. We're going to make a analog to digital converter, and then if we want to make 16 tracks in, we just number the tracks. I'm not going to do all 16. Let's say there's 8. And then if we make a gain, this is like a fader. So we would do that times 16. We're then going to connect our audio. Dotted line means audio. Non-dotted line means it's sending numbers. And then we're going to make an analog to, or digital to analog converter to get us out of digital land and label it with 16. I'm not going to do 16, but I'll do 8. This would pass signal from, you'd have to plug it into the audio interface. So it would be instrument, cable, audio interface. Our computer.
It's not shaking.
Yeah.
Interesting. So instrument, cable, we're just talking about one channel. Instrument, cable, interface. Then we're in the computer. This sets the level, how much is passing through the computer. This is the output of the interface, output 1 through 16. So this connection goes from your instrument's out 1 straight through to that speaker.
So does that mean you don't technically need the computer?
You need the computer because this part has to happen. You can think of the computer as, not necessarily the computer, but the programs you're running on the computer as an interface for the interface. It's like your way of controlling what it does. Because if no computer's plugged in, it doesn't do anything. It's just a box that could route audio. You you need to route the audio to make it happen.
I'm sorry, what input is going to analog to digital conversion? Like what's like a like an example of an input?
So I really want to see your 16-channel instrument because it sounds incredible.
Well, I was just thinking like if you had like an electron box, you could just
Yeah,
route
yeah.
like one track to like.
Yeah, or like a modular system or something like that would have a bunch of outputs. Let's just pare it down to a slightly simpler example, just to not get confused about all these different channels. Let's say we're playing guitar, and like a guitar is plugged into a microphone, or I'm talking to this microphone. The way it works actually is that it would be routed into, there's a snake over there, so XLR cable to snake, snake runs back to the mixer, mixer gets it up to line level with the preamp, and then through an aux send, we send it into the interface, at which point we're in digital land. And then using
Horrible place.
say again.
I said horrible place.
Stay away from digital land unless you're routing a guitar through CLEAT. So yeah, this is one way to do it. I'm maybe spending too much time on this, but another way would be I'm going to make just an audio track. So, sorry, I can't really see that well. We're in automation mode, so I'm going to turn off automation. I really can't see. Basically, you take external input 1, the way we did in Max. Like, Ableton and Max are talking to the same interface. They're just like different languages to speak with it. So, we take external input 1, and then route it to external output 1. And then that track would be doing the exact same thing that we just did in Max, just like less by hand. Or we could do this other thing that we were talking about a second ago, where if this was our track, we could send it to different aux tracks. We could say, it's not going anywhere right now, but if we send it to channel 1, it would be coming out of channel 1. And that would be an easy way to have an audio track grabbing audio from the outside world, and then we could send it to different speakers to different degrees, which would actually be probably the most useful thing to do with it. Because the way these speakers sound, it's a softer and more intimate sound than like a big PA system. It doesn't need to be as loud to get to you at the same level. So I like to think, like, it's tempting to do like crazy pyrotechnics with it, but it also just creates this like close at hand sound that if you were playing acoustic guitar or if you were playing with your modular setup, it's a way to like bring it to the audience in like a more direct way. So even if you sent your one signal to all 16 speakers, that's going to be a different and interesting experience than a standard concert. Anything else for the moment? Sorry. Kind of like, it's tough without you hooking up because it can kind of feel like just a lot of words, but I hope these can provide a kind of like a context to understand when you actually hook up later. So because of those questions, I actually covered all my material. Thank you. I'm gonna play the last movie because it does a few things that the others did not. And it's kind of like a third level of complexity. It uses a sub on an aux send, and it uses the mains in a surround sound way where the mains contain dialogue. So I'm gonna show you really fast what this looks like. We're back to the wiggle here. So, very similar setup. I use stereo tracks, so any stereo content you will hear through, like, if it's routed to channels 1 and 2, it's those two, and it's left and right, just like your headphones or your stereo at home. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each of those has its own stereo experience. So I think the music is probably a little bit richer from any seated position. And then these are dialogue tracks. They're routed to the mains. sub that's also on an aux track here. So all of the individual tracks can access that. Hey Meredith, could you make sure that channels 25, 26, and 27 on the board are like up around -5? Like -5. And that matters because those channels are routed to the console in a way I can show you later if you're interested in. Okay, we're not made of time. I'm going to show you the entire thing just to get a sense of kind of the evolution and the way that like a sustained engagement with this system can produce kind of radically different results over the years. So bear with me.
We are busy daily with triumph and tragedy, excellence and depravity, determination and defeat. For sure. When one of us springs, another lies still. When one of us sings, another falls silent. On and on and on and on and on and on until a pause. Cooks at their chopping blocks, thieves at their counting tables, wives in their ecstasies, lovers in their ministrations, doctors in the OR, riders on the 66, sleepers in their dreams, associates at their workstations, remote pilots bombing dissidents from office parks in Chicagoland. Pause for a moment, a long moment, to take a beat and wonder in this eon of peace and love, this instant of violence and negligence. What seeds am I sowing? Then those called forth from matter to witness matter. Take a breath and begin again.
We are speaking out of turn. We are following the instructions. We are trying hard to learn.
We are making reckless purchases. We are constrained by the circumstances. We are playing muted trumpets. We are making a return.
We are tossing seeds of silence. We are singing word of balance. We are hungover at 10:28 a.m. We are conferring with the resident pro temp.
We are simmering with rage. We are just now touching base. We are delivering with remarks. We are eating protein bars on the brick, watering granary, watching ghosts circle a burning car.
We are tapping or inserting. We are laying down the face. We are writing parking tickets. We are handing out our mixtape.
We are scanning the QR code, we are shouldering the load, we are exploding cold war mortars, we are accepting Series C funding, targeting an IPO.
We are beating a dead horse. We are prepping a fresh export. We are salting the land we planted. We are not taking the moment for granted.
We are maximizing utility. We are going out for JV. We are smoking Swisher sweets. We are getting cold feet, sinking into quicksand on the beach.
We are not getting taken for a chump.
We are locating a hub.
We are holding space for two things to be true at once.
We are raising softer souls.
think I ever would have created something like that if I weren't thinking about CLEAT over the years and involved with the artistic kind of medium where there's no form at all. There's no like preconception, and it can be kind of scary to like throw away the benchmarks of success because you have to admit that like whatever you created is authentically in your mind and you're not trying to like achieve some sort of outer metric. But it's also sort of liberating, and so you know, I don't know if it has to be CLEAT for you, but I'd recommend trying something like With that said, should we pivot into the people plugging in and trying things out segment of the evening? Yes.
Sorry, I do have one more question.
Yeah.
I might be mistaken, but this project and then the project that you were showing earlier, I think it was the padding one. There was in this project there was like no input, and then in the padding one I think there was an input. It was like an external input one.
Yes.
That was sending to the external output. I know they're different things, but why does this one not have the input and the previous project does?
The previous project had an input simply as a way of demonstrating what it would be like to get like the instrument into the system.
Okay.
What I'm doing here is theatrical sound design.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I recorded everything long ago, and so nothing needs to be recorded into this session. It's purely like arranging sounds to be listened to.
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah, yeah. No. So, yeah, you could. The only reason you'd ever want an external input in a live situation is to do a performance. Any other questions before we move on? Yeah.
So could I, like, with my laptop, do something and then bring it up there, or do I have to have like drivers or something?
You do need drivers.
Okay.
So let me show you. We can get those really fast. Elastic's Wi-Fi is. I can just show you this probably. It's called Elastic Arts Guest 2.4. And let me write the password down. Password is free jazz ain't free. This is all one word, all lowercase, no apostrophe. And if you go to CLEAT.info, and then resources, the drivers are on this page.
And I just want to jump in right here and say, if you have found this talk interesting, which there's no way that you wouldn't have, there are going to be 3 more of these talks over the next few weeks. The next one will be with Scott Rubin, who is trying to make an escape, but I had to flag that before you get on out of here. So Scott will be the next the next speaker a week from tonight. So please come on back and
Same time, same place.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you'll learn something much different because Scott works with like live data input and mapping sounds on the ceiling, dance, movement, live performance. So it's a very
Cameras, sensors,
yeah,
all that.
totally different sort of project. This is our website. This is an email address that if you have a proposal, or you'd like to come in and rehearse, which is always a possibility, email us and we'll pass your info along to the Elastic staff. We're always looking for musicians and artists to book for our series, so if you have an idea, please reach out. It doesn't need to be super developed. You don't need like a proposal. You can just talk to us about what you want to do. We used to be limited in when the rehearsals could happen, but it seems like that limitation has recently vanished. So I think there's a lot of different days.
Yeah.
It's definitely eased. So Tuesdays, a lot of times they hold space for artists to come in and just practice. And then this is me. So if you want to ask me a question, send me an email, or this is Instagram. Yeah. Anything else for now, or should we start trying to make some sounds? All right, cool.
Sense.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Scott.
Bye, Scott.
See you later.
All right, I'm gonna relinquish the controls, then whoever's ready first, come on up.
And also, if folks are interested in taking a look at the kind of behind the scenes guts, amplifiers, Motu back in the back.
That's a great idea, yes.
Patch bay.
So maybe, well, anybody who wants to plug in is getting ready. We can give you a quick tour back there.